time. Welcome back to the journey. Sorry for being a minute late. Thought I hit the coffee on. I didn't turn it on, so I just had to wait for it. And so I'm a minute behind. But welcome to this edition of the Sunday Monday vlog. I know I haven't made a bunch of videos, except yesterday. I know I got a few.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yeah, that's my wonderful announcement. I forgot to mute my phone. See, I'm running behind. Totally forgot to do that. For those of you that watch The Lion King, that is Scar from The Lion King that says that. So that's my notification I had talked about. But like I said, nothing pretty much new going on with the Homestead. I did have my VA appointment for my dental. I went out to Fayetteville, Arkansas for that. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., the forestry mulcher is coming. So that's going to get taken care of. The survey got done. The Homestead and family got the survey done to survey off the 30 acres that they're doing a rent to own right now. Little bit of issues with that. I'm not going to talk publicly about that because there's some things going on that it might end up going to court. So due to the fact of it possibly going to court now, I'm not going to do anything public until everything's finalized. Thank you, DT. Welcome back to you too. We had the massive storms for those of you that saw Little Rock. All different parts of Arkansas, Missouri, all over got hit with the tornadoes. Tuesday, they're talking about the next big storms. I just looked at the Ryan Hall Y'all channel for those of you guys that aren't into weather really, but if you're in bad weather areas, I listen to Ryan Hall Y'all's channel because he's pretty darn accurate compared to other weather people that say this and say that and nothing ever happens. Basically, if you watch that channel, you see the people he has out there riding around and seeing storms or letting people know about tornadoes before the Weather Channel and stuff like that even alerts that there's a tornado in the area. He gets footage of them on the ground and everything like that. So the bad part is Tuesday, like all of Arkansas, including my area, is now under this tornado watch. Luckily, the last storm that just came through went north of us and went south of us. So I've picked a good area in this ridge, minus when Steve came out here the day after he got here. He brought that tornado, and it went 2.25 miles from the ranch, and that's the fourth one here in St. Joe. There was another one back in 2017. I put up a post on that with the information. Both of them were EF2 tornadoes, I believe. So not majorly big, but did take out some buildings and things like that. But I'm going to take a sip of coffee real quick, and then I want to dive into something not related to my subject of what I'm going to talk about, the key to a successful homesteader that I've noticed a lot of people aren't talking about, but something that's been on my mind and something that clicked with me with a couple conversations I've had over the last couple days with some people coming to the snowball stand. And a couple things I've seen online that I want to discuss. Just throw it out there, get minds thinking, get different perspectives in your mind. So give me 1 second. Drink it while it's hot because we know every time I go off a live stream, I got cold coffee sitting over there because I don't sit there and drink throughout the whole thing like other channels. I can't mentally do that, just sit here and drink and eat and everything while I'm talking on camera. But I do like that nice warmness because my house is freezing. But the topic I want to talk about before I get into tonight's topic with the key to success on a homestead is the fact that no matter how you think, no matter how you vote, whether you even vote, if you're religious, not religious, whether you like the color black or you like the color blue or you like the color pink, male, female, gay, straight, bigender, whatever, all these different things. And that takes me to the thought of my grandfather. For those of you that have been following this channel for a while, brought my grandfather out to Colorado when I was living in Colorado, took care of him until he passed away. And he was always harping about snowflakes. And that's another trigger word that gets people upset and things like that, being called snowflakes. And he always ranted and raved about snowflakes. And my opinion is his ranting and raving is being upset just like the other side. And the other side is seeing him as a snowflake. And I remember back growing up, for those of you that have been watching this channel for a long time know I've never voted. 36, never registered your vote. I don't believe in all that. That's my belief. But growing up, I remember my parents were like party parents. They had other parents come over. They played Mexican Train. They drank and stuff like that. All the kids would play together in the yard, go outside, ride bikes, things like that. Before we had computers and cell phones to play on, we were outside riding bikes and things like that. And I remember when voting came around, my dad voted, and all the other adults that voted, nobody would ever tell who they voted for, which way they voted. And everybody was different religion. Like our neighbor down the street was, I think, Pentecostal. I was raised Roman Catholic, and none of that ever got discussed. And for whatever reason, due to social media and us going from a community where we're there to help each other, this is that 90% bad, 10% good change that my great grandfather talked about when I was little. Is we went from that community mindset of being there to help each other, minding our own business, to this new generation of being in society with social media. And just because somebody votes one way or thinks one way, or they're attracted to a different type, or they like a different color, or they think this restaurant deserves a bad review, but yet all these people like that restaurant, and the one they like everybody hates. It just goes on to that mindset of every side is thinking the other side is a snowflake, and we need to learn to let that go. I've seen some stuff on Facebook that I want to comment on, but if I comment on somebody's post, then I'm just contributing to that drama, to inflame feelings and everything like that. And that's what irritated me with my grandfather. I never said nothing to my grandfather, but for all the people he called snowflakes, he was a big snowflake because he would take to Facebook and he would take to whatever else he would do and send out emails to people and things like that on his view. When if he just ignored the person and let it go, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me mentality that I was raised on, that I don't know why the boomer generation doesn't live by what they taught us. But he didn't. And I just want to throw that out there because my dentist, and this is going to lead us into the topic of today's Sunday Monday vlog, is my dentist was pushing fluoride toothpaste on me. Now, like I said, if you like fluoride toothpaste, that's your belief. I don't believe in the whole fluoride thing, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I can go to a dentist here in Searcy County that's in Marshall, 18 miles away, instead of driving all the way out to Fayetteville, because I'm going to have a lot of appointments now. But because my dentist thinks one way and I'm thinking another way, I can look through that. And I've actually decided to stick with the dentist in Fayetteville and not go here in Searcy County. I'm actually going to drive 2.5 hours each way for multiple trips to get my mouth taken care of. And I'm going to describe the reason why. And that is, so my dentist is government certified. Everybody that has medical license, you go through the government. Same thing with public schools and stuff like that. You're taught what they want you to know. In my mind, fluoride's not good, because if you look into fluoride, if you look up fluoride, how fluoride comes to be, it's toxic waste and it's dumped in the water system. So if you watch the whole Alex Jones back in the day, he ranted and raved about all that, which I don't watch him because he just screams and all that. And now all the lawsuits and all that stuff going on. So That's a mess. Like I said, both sides, whether left, right, whatever, they all have their own issues. But if you really look into fluoride, it is toxic waste. And the whole thing with the fluoride thing with the dentist, he's telling me fluoride stop cavities, da da da. They do this, do that. Well, in my mind, everybody has a different body. Everybody has different DNA. Everybody has different blood. Everybody has different genes. So when you do real treatments of stuff, everybody shouldn't be given the same quantity or quality or substance of what they give you. For example, they dump fluoride in the drinking water in city water. And if fluoride did such a good job, then cavities would be gone. Then he tried to argue with me that since they started using fluoride in the water, cavities have gone down. But you also got to look, more people go to the dentist and brush their teeth and take care of their teeth and everything else, where they weren't doing that back prior. They, it wasn't the fluoride, in my opinion. I could be wrong. This is just my thought, my beliefs. But anyhow, we bantered back and forth. And because he was honest and he was willing, I said I didn't want the prescription for the fluoride toothpaste, and he was willing to let that go. I can see through, and he was honest. He told me what his beliefs were. He didn't believe in my beliefs, but he's still willing to work with me. And because of that brute honesty, and he's not going to hold what I do against me, nor am I going to hold him using the fluoride and stuff in his mind, because like I said, the government teaches one way. There's no other way to look. And like I say, everybody's got different bodies. So everybody shouldn't be given the same amount of medicine. Some people need more, some people need less, but they like to just give everybody the same amount so they don't have to do all that research and all that type of stuff. That's where I think the medical system and all that stuff's flawed. So long story short, I got another person convinced I'm an alien. Actually two, both my dentist and the dentist assistant, because for those of you, well, nobody's going to know this, but I have not been to the dentist since I was 18 years old. And it turns out I don't even have a record in the military for dentistry, because the dentist I saw with the military was at my MEP station where I depped in to go into the military. And that is actually prior to your government record. So they had to do head scan x-rays. They had to do all the single x-rays and all that type of stuff. So I was there for like hour and a half, 2 hours just to get my basic setup again, because the MEPS doesn't go into your government record. So I have not been to a dentist in 18 years. I do not go. I don't get the flu shots and pneumonia. I didn't do the COVID stuff. I didn't do any of this stuff because for me, I don't believe that way. If you guys believe that way, my grandparents went, my neighbors from Colorado, they went. I have friends here that didn't do any of that and don't do that. So everybody does their own way. I still talk to my grandparents. I still talk to my neighbors from Kansas. That's one thing. When me and Carla were together, when we went out to Kansas and saw my neighbors, she couldn't believe I was still friends with somebody that's anti-gun, as I'm ex-law enforcement, ex-military. I believe in that. There's people that don't believe that, just like my neighbors out there. They believe in some of the different conspiracy theories that I believe in. Some people don't, and so on and so forth. But I'm able to talk to people. I talk to people in here. I'm not going to point anybody out because that's between me and you on our emails or phone conversations or letters and stuff like that on what you guys believe in and what I believe. But we still talk. You guys are still here, part of the journey. I'm sure I've lost some people throughout this journey because they don't like my beliefs or they believe a different way and they can't see past that. So we all need to learn to just take a step back, and just because somebody thinks another way than you, don't worry about it. But back to the dentistry. So I haven't been to the dentist in 18 years. I'm 36. So I was 18 years old last time I seen a dentist. I was honest with the dentist. I'm not going to lie to the dentist because that's not my forte. I do white lies and stuff like that, joking around. but I don't blatantly just put out lies and things like that. So I told the dentist, he asked how I take care of my teeth. No lie, 10 to 15 seconds every morning. I just brush my teeth, swig with mouthwash. It's over and done with, all in less than 20 seconds, say 20, 25 seconds. Don't brush my teeth at night. Don't floss. Don't do any of that. So in 18 years of not doing all this, they are believing I'm an alien because out of all that time and such horrible tooth care, I only had 3 cavities. However, I do have a major problem going on right now. And he said, it's a good thing I decided to come in when I came in, because I got about 6 months until I have damage starting that I can't reverse. So right now it's reversible, but in another 6 months it wouldn't be reversible. So that is the uh, periodontal disease in my gums. I do wake up in the morning with some blood in my mouth. I've known that's not normal. That started a few years ago, and I don't go to dentists, don't go to doctors, don't do any of that stuff. Up until I fillet my face open with that angle grinder. I got tetanus shot at a hospital because I had metal particles, rusty metal particles in my mouth or my nose. So they had to give me a tetanus shot for that. Um, but something told me, and that's my alien perspective again, where I get these feelings, and like I said, I decided, hey, I better go see a dentist. And I more so did it. I had the gut feeling that I needed dental a couple years ago when I started having the mouth bleeding. However, I did it more so because the way the economy and everything's going, if something goes wrong or something like overseas happen where there's a war here and you can't get to a doctor, I want to make sure I'm in better shape. I want to be prepared, like Boy Scouts always be prepared. Military, you always want to be prepared and have everything on your A game. So I decided to do that. So luckily, I got in there in time. He thought I had a bunch of nerve damage in my mouth, so he took it's a air spray can that says ice, and they put it on a cotton ball and they touch your tooth and it hits your nerve real fast, and you put your tongue on your tooth after and it takes the pain away immediately if you have good nerves. So all my nerves were good. He ended up checking 12 of my teeth. Normally, like he said, they normally do 1 or 2 teeth for people's problem teeth, not half my mouth. But he thought I had major damage, which luckily I have no nerve damage. I have no mouth cancer. I have no bone protrusions or anything like that in any of my jaws. I just had the early stage of periodontal disease, which is your gums, and that's where your gums will recede. And you have gapping, and this is like a dentistry thing, but for this channel right now, because I normally don't talk dentistry. But for those of you that don't know, or those of you that don't go to the dentist like me, this might be some perspective for you. And this is going to branch into another thing in a second. But you're supposed to have a 3 gap between your gum and your teeth or something like that. And almost all of mine are 4s and 5s. And anything over 5 is really bad, or starts to get pretty bad, because 3s are the normal. Anything over 3 is like slightly bad, which is the 4 or 5s. Anything over 5s gets pretty bad, and then anything 7 or more is really dangerous. So I have a couple 6s. So I have some pretty bad. So long story short, I'm going to have multiple trips out to Fayetteville now. I could have went to the dentist here, but because it's a VA, I look at it, the dentist here in Marshall, Arkansas, he was really friendly. The staff was friendly. He took me in, looked at my mouth, told me, I don't want to charge you nothing. He said, go to the VA. They can pay for you to come here. But because I have such extensive work going on, and I don't know, as a private, dental thing if they will try to do more work to get more money than what the VA will do, where the VA won't want to do as much money, and I can always transfer to Marshall. But the dentist seemed so honest, upfront, made his points. He said I had a bunch of shadowing, which he said could be potential cavities, but nothing looked like cavities. And he said a lot of dentists will start drilling into those shadows, and half the time they're not cavities. And he doesn't want to do a bunch of drilling in my mouth when I don't have to. I only had 3 cavities that are pronounced. He put the little pick in there, dug around. He said, "Does that hurt at all?" I said, "No." He knows my nerves are good, so the cavities aren't that bad. And like I told him, it's this right over here, Coke. It's that Coke diet. And that's another thing why they believe I'm alien, because they can't believe for 8.5 years I drank 24 cans of Coke a day, and now I drink 8 to 10 bottles of Coke a day, and I still have teeth that are in this good a shape. Now, yes, I got the periodontal disease started, so May 2nd is going to be my next thing. So he tells me I'm going to be in a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. It's going to be a debridement where they're going to get under my gums and clean all the hard calcium buildup and everything, plaque tart or whatever you call it. So that's going to be the first trip. Then the second trip, for those of you that have been to dentists and do this type of stuff, you know about it. I haven't, so this is going to be my first time doing all this. So May 2nd is going to be the full mouth debridement, and they're going to fill the one big cavity back here. The second trip, they're going to do the right quadrants, the upper and lower. And he said my face will be completely numbed. They said they could put me under and do the whole mouth in like an 8-hour span or whatever. But he recommends I do half at a time, even though it's 2 trips. It's going to be dealing with the pain twice. But they're going to clean the top and bottom in the second trip. Then they're going to do the top and bottom on the other side of the third trip. Then the fourth trip's going to be x-rays again to see if they missed anything and finish filling the other 2 cavities. If they missed anything, hey boys, that's 9. They're over there with their bones. They want to try to get argumentative. But if everything goes good, the 4th trip, then I won't have another. If not, I'll have 5th trip. So I'm easily going to have well over 10 grand in mouth stuff taken care of. And that takes me to the title of the video, which is The Key to a Successful Homesteader. I have seen a lot of people talk about homesteading. Yes, I'm not on my homestead. Yes, I don't have my gardens. I don't have a homestead like you see on all these homestead channels, because I'm starting over again, and I'm starting over again with no money for many years. So it's going to be a slow progression. But the one thing I don't see a lot of people talking about is the prepper mindset on the homesteading channels for the key part of homesteading. Everybody thinks it's the off-grid and all this stuff that's the key to a successful homestead. And I am learning. Well, I'm not learning, but I am working towards that key. And the key to a successful homestead is your health. If you're not healthy, if you're not in shape, if you don't take care of your dentistry, if you don't take care of your blood work, if you don't take care of injuries, infections, sicknesses, and things like that, you can't have a successful homestead. Max, you like that ice water? They love when I have the snowball stand open because they get ice water, and they love their ice water. Besides that, I don't use ice, so I don't have ice except when the snowball stand's open. But that's what I want to harp on tonight is, if you haven't been to the dentist, now I'm not trying to promote dentistry. I'm not trying to promote going to the doctors. I'm not trying to promote vaccines and all that stuff, because that's not my belief. But now that I'm set up back through the VA, I do have to go to the doctors once every 10 months. The dentist I've got to be there once a year. So I am going to be in a groove. However, my doctor at the VA knows I'm not doing vaccines. I'm not doing the flu. I'm not doing COVID. Not doing whatever other ones they make up in the future because I don't believe in that. I'm 36 years old. I haven't had the flu and all that stuff since I was a kid. And I've had a couple sicknesses. I caught COVID, like you saw me and Carla. Carla gave it to me. Um, but I went through it and I'm still here. So, but I do recommend if you haven't been to a dentist in 18 years like me, or if your mouth is bleeding, or if you are having issues due to the economy and due to the world events going on, just think of it this way. If a world war or something started right now, or if something happened here in this country, or say the dollar collapsed, or all the doomsday scenarios that are feasible to a certain extent, would you rather have your mouth? Hey, get down. We're not doing that. Would you rather have your mouth taken care of so you can take care of your homestead, take care of your animals? Or would you rather not, and something does happen and your mouth gets infected and you got to rely on somebody in your neighborhood to help you with your tooth issues because you can't get to a doctor? Or you don't take care of an injury and it gets infected and the infection gets worse and then you get staph or something like that, and then you're in a wheelchair or on crutches. How do you carry out your feed? How do you move hay bales? How do you do these different things? So that's something I just wanted to put out there, along with the whole idea I had in the beginning about we need to learn to work with each other and not be as harsh on people and just let bygones be bygones. Get rid of the drama. But I want everybody to think about that because a lot of people don't talk about staying in shape, your dentistry, your health, and stuff like that as part of your homestead. Because if you're sick all the time, you're asking family or friends, or maybe you don't have nobody to take care of your animals. If you have a face that's messed up and you're laid up in bed, you're not going to be able to do things. So it's something you guys want to think about. And same thing with me. I'm going to go through all this. I'm going to have my mouth messed up. They said I'm going to be in pain and things like that. But if I would have taken care of this issue before, it wouldn't have gotten as bad. But at the same time, us aliens were from outer space, so there's not so much air and oxygen up there. So we don't think as well. It is what it is. But we're also like boomers. Boomers are hard-headed. Electrical tape, zip ties, things like that. You don't go to the doctors. Same thing with my face. I got up through the woods. Wad of tissues. I figured out my situation, did my thing. But that's just something for you guys to think about. Keep all the states in your thoughts and prayers. A teeth cleaning isn't that bad. Yeah, well, this is going to be a deep, deep one, he says, DT. And I'm not fully into dentistry, and I did listen to him on one. And I went and bought this, which is the Sonicare Philips. $100 for this thing. And I'll tell you, I don't know if anybody's used one of these, but I'll tell you right now, this morning was the first time I tried to use this toothbrush. It's $100 for this one. I didn't get the one with the apps and all that stuff. They're like $200. And I got this one because it's, let's see, where is it at? This one is the G2 Gum Care. So that's why I got that, because I figured I got gum issues. That'd be the best one for me. I don't need the thrills of everything else. But if nobody's used one of these toothbrushes, I don't know how people use them. It's going to take me a while to get used to it, because my face was so like, it was like tickling me. Like if somebody grabbed my armpits, if I was ticklish, I'm not ticklish. But my feet are ticklish. But that's what it was in my mouth. The vibration is so intense. Like I could just get to my tooth and then it made my face feel so funny. I had to stop. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I did get this. I did use this. And my thought now is I am brushing in the morning. I am brushing in the evening. And the reason I'm doing that now is not just because the dentist told me I should, but he said I'm going to be in pain. I know they're going to be working around my gums. I know my gums are inflamed sometimes. I know my gums were sore with him poking and prodding as he was, and that wasn't even cleaning. So I figured I have till May 2nd, so I'm about a month away. I'm sure brushing in the morning, in the evening now, up until May 2nd, that will help my gums heal a little bit. And that's what I'm going for, is if I can heal my gums a little bit so it's not as painful when I go for this cleaning. And that shows him I'm doing a little bit initiative, that I'm not just hot air and say I'll do something. Now, he did tell me he would like me to stop drinking as many Cokes as I drink. He did the calculations from can down to bottles. He said I am drinking less fluid ounces. Any increase in blood flow will help it. Okay, DT. Well, I'm going to try. But he asked me to brush. He asked me to get the toothbrush, the electric toothbrush. He wants me to get electric water pick, which I'm not going to do. I'm not spending money on that. He said, or floss at least once every other day. He wanted me to reduce the Coke, and I told him straight up, I said, I'm not going to reduce my Coke. That's what I live on, is my Coke. So he asked if I'll chase the Coke with water or mouthwash, rinse with mouthwash after drinking Coke. And I'm not going to do that either. But I did get the toothbrush, and I am going to brush twice a day. And I did get a stronger mouthwash to rinse in the morning and in the evening. So I will work with him some. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of difference because, look, 18 years, I got 3 cavities. So I don't have to do all this stuff because I can go another 18 years before I get 3 more cavities. In my mind, that's just how us aliens think. But that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm working on. For those of you that haven't done this, it's a very, very weird feeling. So with that, that's pretty much it. The dogs, I know everybody likes to see the dogs, so let's see the dogs real quick. We got Mickey Mouse over there sleeping, rubbing his face. We got Max down here. We got Minnie Mouse being a lazy dog like always. Minnie Mouse, who's that? Mouse, who's that? Mouse, Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse, you better say hi to these people. Max, it's okay. Got Minnie Mouse up. She had to get up. She's lazy. And then Mr. Chubbs is over there eating the bones. And then I changed the house around a little bit. I flipped this around and changed that so the air conditioning unit can blow right through instead of right into that wall and it doesn't come through. Because for those of you that don't know, it was 79 degrees today here in Arkansas. We have spring, we have leaves, we have flowers. I've mowed the yard 3 times already. After this next rainstorm, it's going to need to be mowed again. But yes, I've had AC units running already. The one in the snowball room is running right now. I can hear it back there. And it's beautiful here. So the April Fools, sorry for those of you in Colorado that were really hoping I was coming. I put the video up on Facebook. A lot of people didn't watch the video. They saw the title with me in the suitcases. They're like, oh yes, you're coming back to Colorado. Well, DT, you're in Georgia. So Georgia, Florida, you guys always have beautiful weather. Until summertime, then it's hot, then you got horrible weather. But of course you got beautiful weather. I'm talking anybody north of Arkansas, west of Arkansas, Colorado and all that, they're getting more snow coming up. But a lot of people were excited for me to come back to Colorado. I had a lot of community members here reach out, and they're like, "Oh, please don't leave. We like having you out here and stuff like that." Kids are enjoying seeing the animals. A lot of the families here take their kids by. I don't know, some probably once a day, some then once a week or whatever, just to drive by and see all the animals. So they didn't want not to have that for the kids. Then a lot of people like the snowball stand, but like I've told everybody, this is going to be my last year doing snowball stand. I just I don't want to do that anymore. I want to focus on the homesteading. I want to start getting orchards in, gardens in, and get back to videoing more at the homestead for you guys. Yeah, you're right, DT. We use laser beams or what's that? The teleporter. Yeah, we zip all our stuff wherever we go. But then again, all those devices, DT, could be on that spaceship that I put the invisible shield on that I can't find because it's invisible. So I might be using suitcases. So you never know. But I hope everybody's had a great week. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Keep everybody across the world in your thoughts and prayers. You don't know whether it's forest fires, earthquakes, tornadoes. Like I said, we got tornadoes coming in Tuesday. But try, like I've been saying for the last several videos, I really, really want to push that. Try to be a lot kinder. Try to be a lot happier. Try to bring some brightness to people's lives. Try to make their existence a little bit better. Like I said, we all are only on this planet for a little bit of time. You humans, maybe 100 years, us aliens, about 200 years, but we all go away. So would you rather people be happy and enjoy their little bit of time on this planet? Because as you get older, I wouldn't know because I'm not a boomer like you boomers out there. But everybody says time flies as you get older. I know time flies when you're having fun. In Arkansas, 2.5 years has flown quick. But with that little bit of time, make somebody smile, make somebody happy, do something to help somebody, whether it's helping by pulling over and helping them change a tire, whether if you're financially able to help somebody in need, that's actually in need, not the people in the corners with the signs that sit there, because most of them don't need that. They can always find a way to make money, but try to help in some type of way. Try to bring a smile to people. Give a hug, give a high five, give a fist bump, whatever you want to do, but be a little bit kinder. If you don't agree with how people think, adverse of how you think, don't let that be the end of a friendship, relationship, family member. Forgive and forget, as the old saying goes. And go with that. I hope everybody has a good upcoming week. I'll show you guys. I'll probably do a video after the forestry mulching so you guys can see what was done. And I'll see you guys on next Sunday, Monday vlog. Have a great night. And remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be. And I'll see you guys later.